Like one of my favorite colorful type of outfits is when I'm wearing what is that called? I don't remember.
Like a shawl, kimono. I don't
it's
really
like
know. There's so many different words for but it's so cute because it has like a dream catcher theme to it. Look, isn't that beautiful? And
It's
then I
so
wear my
beautiful.
dream catcher necklace.
Oh,
Well, it's Sophia's, but
you gotta share with her, or she's gotta share with you.
She's awesome.
Okay, for everyone listening, I just need, and me and you too, Liz, we're all gonna take a minute because this is an alchemist deck. We need to think about what's happening around us. We can think, Liz and I, we were just talking about asking for what we need, asking for our needs to be met. And sometimes you have to explicitly ask for that. And so that's part of this conversation too, in the peripherals. So everyone just take like 30 seconds and think about your environment.
Welcome to the podcast, Empowered by Design. I am your host, Dr. Liz, a hopeful romantic, intuitive spirit, mom of two beautiful souls, and partner to the love of my life. I am a love and relationship specialist, licensed psychologist, and owner of Visionistas by Design Wellness Boutique. Our mission is to lead with love and empower you to heal, grow, shine, and fly. This podcast delivers lessons and conversations on the power of connection, of tuning in body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit to manifest your dreams in life, love, and biz with intentional vision. Share the love, spread the power. Dream, design, deliver.
All right. That mower in the background, I don't know if the listeners are going to be able to hear it, but
that mower.
I kind of like it. It's a little bit soothing. It's on my end.
Like if you're a fan of or have followed me anywhere, then you already know the stories around the mowers. They're always around. So this is just like we embrace the background noise of life and tune in to ourselves.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
Oh, I accidentally pulled two. So when that happens,
this is one of your things. I love this.
I know. Did that happen last time?
Yeah.
In our new moon card pull?
No, not with us. Only one came, but I know you've done that before.
I do it all the time. I do it all the time, and I love it. Okay, so the first one I pulled was spring, and it's so beautiful.
I love it.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, and the number is that 17?
Okay, so it's XVII.
17.
Do your magic. 17, yep. Thank you. And in the picture, what it is it's a base. This is a base metal, and this is a precious metal gold, and so the base metal is silver, and then it's got 3 like jewels right here.
Oh, I love it.
And I have no idea what this symbol is down here. And then we've got a triangle.
Oh, I see the triangle. Yeah, I don't know that symbol either.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. But beautiful, beautiful white tree background, like of light fading into dark. So I can't wait to talk about that one. And the second card that came up is iron. Look at, it's so beautiful. I love it. With the like lava background, and then this lightning is the word.
Yes, I was going to say lightning strike. Love that.
And then this, to me, this looks like gold. To me, this looks like it's gold, but I don't know. I mean, maybe when I read it, it'll tell me. What number is this? It's XXII.
XXII, 22.
I gotta learn, but I think I'm just gonna rely on you forever.
That's fine. I love that. 17 and 22, spring, which is almost done. And iron. I mean, spring is almost like ending. We're coming to the beginning of summer.
Yeah. And so like But of course, spring in this, like, it means something different. I mean, well, it means spring, like the actual
Mhm,
season,
mhm.
but it also like has different implications.
Oh, I'm excited to hear.
I know. All right,
I'm
so
trying
while
to
I'm
think. Yeah.
oh, say what you were gonna say.
I was just going to say, I love to think about what associations I have. And I love that you have a different, like this deck is so fun. Um, because it's not something that I'm very familiar with, like the metals, and so, oh, interestingly, I will say this, and whether whatever. Recently, I had blood work done, and I was iron deficient, which I already have known about myself.
Mhm.
That I take an iron supplement already, but it was recommended again that potentially I increase that. Yes, so iron, we need it. Ooh, that's an interest. Personally,
That
that's kind of
is.
what came up to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
Spring
interesting connection.
and iron. Something we're lacking. Something we're lacking or I'm lacking, right? Or
Mhm.
deficient in,
Or anyone else who's listening who might be deficient in
right?
iron. You know what I
Or
mean?
something, right? Like
Mhm.
because we know that the cards are pulled. Well, I believe, I won't say we know. I believe the cards are pulled, uh, given the energy here between us in this space and also in the space of the people who are listening and need this message as well, right? So I think when we do these card pulls, we definitely talk about, oh, this is what's coming up for me in my life, recognizing by the connection we have with the people who are listening and tuning into us, there is a connection underlying that they're getting meaning from it as well, right? There's a connection in what we all are experiencing on some level.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And that's a really beautiful way to describe how this encompasses everybody. And especially because it's an alchemist deck, like because I'm pulling with the intention of it being for other people, like
Right.
that's significant.
Right.
All right. So let's get into spring. Let's take a deep breath. I'm gonna give everyone just like a few seconds to just think about what spring means to them and their environment that they're in right now. And then I'll read what the author says.
And are you going to tell us for you too?
Oh yeah, I can tell you for you.
Okay.
Or I can tell you for me. All right. So what spring the role I pulled this card before. So I'm familiar with the reading. So I actually already know what the book says, but what spring means for me in my life, it's a new beginning. That's like the symbol of spring. And I am really I've gone through a lot of emotional work, a lot of like intellectual work around specifically like my physical body and health and healing. And sometimes like health and healing can, when you're doing what's like right, like eating balance and like exercising. Well, I used to take that to like a way too extreme place that was like then psychologically unhealthy. So it's really balancing like what's healthy for your body and what's healthy for your mind. And I'm just sort of been going through the trenches of all of the emotional work when it comes to like body image and when it comes to like actually needing to be healthy because there are certain foods that you can eat too much of and it like makes you physically depressed. Like when you're treating your body like an actual trash can, that's not self-love. But I had to kind of experience all of that. And so this is a big change for me. I'm like working with, I have a health coach who I'm working with. Her name is Jenny. She's amazing
Yes, I love
and
Jenny.
she's our friend. And I have like I'm working with my doctor. And so I'm working with new people to really focus on like, and my therapist. So
Mhm.
all of these people to focus on a balanced way of living, which I was not capable of doing like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, even, and it is such a process. And so that's like the big new beginning for me personally,
I love that.
which is what feels like the most relevant for this card.
Yes. And when you say not capable of doing it, those different in the past,
Hmm.
right. I just love that. ability to recognize that timing really plays a big role in things, right? Like being able to look back and say, there were certain circumstances in my life at that time that prevented me from feeling capable and from seeing these tools and strategies and relationships that are now really, really helpful for me in this new chapter and this health and health all around holistically.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love that.
absolutely. And it is so hard because it's like so much to balance, and you just have to be honest with yourself about where you're at. I mean, I really do feel like it takes like other people to sort of give you like a perspective check. For me
100%.
personally.
And for me personally, you are one of my favorite perspective checkers. For me, I love it.
Oh, yes, we do a good job with that for each
Yes,
other.
we do.
Okay, now
Okay.
let's see what
Okay.
spring might mean for everybody else.
Okay.
When spring arrives, our eyes lift from the work and we peer out the window of our laboratory. We realize Earth has been in its own transformational spin, readying itself for a new era of growth. In a state of wonder, the alchemist sets aside the work of winter and opens the door, stepping into spring. When this card arrives, it indicates a blossoming, a coming into one's own in its generation of time. You may be dreaming up a business plan, humming a new melody, or flirting with a special someone. Spring is the season of the East, where the sun rises and lights the world. You do not have to work on anything during this phase. Let the energy of this season push through you. You made it through winter and the bulb bursts on their own. So I love
Ooh, I love
that.
that.
I didn't remember all of that, how it's like, don't do that much work, which,
Yeah.
you know, like, part of that
Which
really does
we might need to hear. We might.
Yeah. Yes. Because it's like I have so many focuses for this specific summer season. Then I have like that my launch coming up, and I have my free Beyond the Quiz workshop and like all of this stuff, which
Love it.
actually is work, but it's this card is so meaningful for me because it's like you can get shit done, but also you can have that undertone of ease, and it is finding that balance of having
And
that undertone of ease.
yeah, two things. First, can you remind me of the date of your workshop?
It is June 18th.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
either 5 or 5:30. I
Okay.
honestly cannot remember in my head, and so but
Okay.
you know, it's on my website.
Perfect. And yeah, and I think for me, the other association that was coming up was I love that message. I really needed to hear of like, not don't work too hard, because yes, don't work too hard, because you know me, I like work on too many things at one time. But for me, also recognizing summer has traditionally been for me a time where I do enjoy just like taking it down a notch, right? And just like I'm sure that's similar for a lot of people, because that we're kind of conditioned culturally that way. It's like you're out, school's out for the summer, play and have fun. And so for me, I'm going to take that message of like really, really focusing, not working hard, but really being intentional on what I'm prioritizing and focusing my work energy on, so that I can balance it with fun and relaxation.
I love that, because that's
Me
actually
too.
like the tangible skill that like we all need to learn. It's not just like saying, "Oh, let me have balance." It's like figuring out how to
Wow.
arrange your energy so that you have
Yes.
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. Okay, so now the next one is iron, and you talked a little bit about your personal relation. Here, I'm just going
I'm
to pull the card.
excited to hear this.
Your personal relationship with iron, and so I can't wait either. I like love the look of this card. I think it's so
Me
beautiful.
too.
What is this the symbol for
Hex.
male or female?
Oh.
This right here. You see?
I don't know. That I should know that.
Well, they can watch the video, and then they can figure it out.
They can tell us. Comment below
right?
somewhere. Tell us the answer. I want to say female. If I'm guessing, I want to say female.
Female. I mean, you know, female. It looks like a very female card to me, like how all of this badass shit going on, you know. Okay, so when I think of iron, when I hear iron, I think of like heaviness. Like that's the first. I haven't read this card yet, so I don't know what this says. But
and you went like this. You like a
Right.
little bit of a sigh. Well, a sigh, but like,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And you're so good at like the mind body connection, like
Mm,
realizing things like that. I never really am present in my body and realizing like what my body
mm.
is doing. You're phenomenal at that. Okay, so I'm going to take 10 seconds and let everyone think about what iron means, like their associations to it in their environment, where they're at. All right. Iron is a reliable metal that can withstand great pressure. Over the centuries, we have come to utilize this metal extensively, mixing it with our carbon to create the steel for bridges, highways, and infrastructures that span across the globe. In alchemy, iron is associated with the planet Mars and shares its qualities of being strong, assertive, and potentially warlike. When the iron card appears, there is a call to rely only on the reliable, what truly supports you. What sorry, I just made a connection. Which I'll
Oh, I
tell
can't
you in
wait
a
to
minute.
hear it. Yeah.
What have you already built? Iron dwells at the center of the earth, so when all else feels lost, go inward. There is a deep magnet there that pulls you toward what is steady and true. For the moment, put your words and weapons down and let yourself be held by the structure that is already in place. Oh my gosh, and look at the to ponder. It has like this little thing that says to ponder,
Mhm.
iron in our bloodstream.
What does it say? Oh, that's it?
That's
That's the
what that's
ponder.
it.
Okay.
That's what you have to ponder, which I think is really
That
interesting
is
because of your blood
so,
tests, you know?
yes, yes. Interesting. Huh.
Okay, so let me tell you
I
this
want to know when
connection.
you went like this. Yes, tell me. I
Like,
love those
what that
moments.
connection is. Okay,
Yes.
so when it's like because of these two cards together
Mhm.
and spring being like we all obviously have to accomplish things all the time. That's very overwhelming. Like remember your voice note that you sent me yesterday and you were like, "Oh, and I just have to fucking eat so healthy and like be the best version of myself." You know what I mean? It's like
Yes, yeah,
so
like all the things.
hard.
All
It's
the
so hard.
things.
It's like why do we like always like we're making our hair healthy. Like all this
Oh,
shit
I know.
just
Doing it
it's
all at the same
hard.
time. Mhm.
Mhm. And so, but also the spring card is asking us to sort of ease off and to just like relax. And then what you said was like kind of figuring out where your energy flows naturally. And so that's how you can get shit done while still having time to sort of ease off and relax. And this card makes me think of like relying on the structures that you've already built. You already did the work of winter, which is what the spring was talking about. You already built the structures. So rely on those to support you.
When you had us pause right before the iron reading, the word that came into my mind was strong, and like the strength of iron, which was reflected in the reading of just like how we use it with other things, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
strong on its own, and we use it with other things to fortify structures. And for me, that was so helpful, especially in this, how you've woven them both together in relying on ourselves and the structures that we've built, the relationships, excuse me, the relationships that we have been building that we know are supportive, right? And um, just the importance of the invitation to really examine the supportive structure of our relationships. And yeah.
Yes. Because it is like we spend so much time building that and and the word reliable came up a lot in the iron
Mm,
reading. And so being
mhm.
able to rely on the relationships, on the work that we've already done in those relationships, and on the people who we're in relationship with to support us.
Yes. And also something from a voice note you sent me, I think it was this morning or yesterday, in recognizing the importance of one, asking for what you need, right? Like this is one of
Mhm.
our things, but also in, um, oh, I kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, that's so interesting. I wonder what happened. Like energetically,
Mhm.
what came in then was for me this I'll tell the story. So I had to ask, oh, this is what it is. I had to ask for what I needed, but I wasn't ready to do it. Or it was like, this
Mm.
is what you said in your voice note. I was preemptively preparing for my partner's emotion and then avoiding action because I was like, oh, he's going to be this way about her. He's going to feel this way. So I'm not going to do this thing that I really need to ask for because he might feel this way. And you said, I wrote it down because I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Stop doing this, Liz. You said you do this in multiple relationships. You anticipate what the person might feel, and then you avoid the action because you want to protect them from that possibility. But you don't know that they're going to feel that way. And even if they do, you're not responsible for it. So if I'm fearing action because I'm afraid my partner is going to be disappointed, it's okay if he's disappointed. It's okay if he's frustrated or annoyed. I can't control that, nor should I not do what I need or ask for what I need in our relationship just to avoid what might be possible, right? So it's relying on the structure that we've already built. We've worked really hard over the past 20 years on our relationship to know that it's going to be strong. It's going to sustain whatever this is. And in fact, I took your advice. I asked for what I needed. And to my surprise, the response was like, great, thanks. And I'm like, wow, thank you, Angie, for like helping me see, stop doing that. Stop, Liz. And so that really like plays really into these messages as well. So
I love that. I honestly think like I don't see myself as a person who struggles asking for my needs to be met, but 100% I am. And I kind of think that maybe it's like more for women, I'm not sure, but I'm I'm mostly close with women. So I don't know, but I think a lot of people struggle asking for their needs to be met because of that, because we're so empathetic and we're so emotional and we're so that's not what I mean. I mean, we're emotionally intuitive.
and
And so we try
compassionate.
to, and compassionate. That's the
Yes.
word I wanted. Yeah,
Yes.
compassionate. Thank you. And so it's like really, really hard to sometimes ask for your needs to be met when you're anticipating that the compassionate thing is actually to stay silent. But
Mm,
that's never the case. Like, or very rarely the case. I want the people who I am in relationship with, in all relationships, coworkers, friends, romantic, whatever,
yep.
I want those people to ask me for what they need
Yes.
because I love them or I care about them.
Yes.
So why don't
Yes.
I
Yes.
like
Do
accept
the
the same for
same.
myself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Oh.
just did a TikTok on that very thing of
Oh.
like telling, so like we're really coming full circle of
Mhm.
a- ask for what you need in a relationship and ask for the other person to tell you the truth, right? Like, because if I don't feel like I can tell someone the truth, I'm putting all this yucky, cloudy, murky energy in between us for no, like not for a tiny sliver of a possibility, right? Not reality. And trusting that even if my partner's disappointed or my friend or whoever I'm talking to is feeling a certain way, that doesn't mean the relationship is over, right? You build on it. I love that. I love
Yes.
it.
Oh, me too. I love when it comes full circle. All right. Well,
Yes.
I honestly like have a million more things that I could say, but let's leave it at this.
Okay.
Right here because it's so beautiful, so full circle. And we'll talk again on, oh, and you have your new moon
Illumination circle tonight. I'm
illumination
so
circle.
excited for it. Yes, it's outside and I'm hoping the weather continues to cooperate. Fingers crossed. And if not, we'll just pop inside. No big deal. But yeah, I'm really
Are you
excited for
doing
that.
it at your
At my office.
work or
Yeah.
at your office? You have an
Mhm.
outside space at
So
your
I have
office?
yes, and I met, so I share, well, clearly I've like, you heard the lawnmower,
Yes.
right? I have lots of residential places in around us, but the one I border with is new people who just moved in. So the other day, I've not done an outside thing here yet. So the other day I went over to meet my new neighbors. lovely woman, Esther. And I was like telling her, I'm going to be doing this thing outside. We'll stay on my half of the grass. And she's like, it's okay. And, I was like, well, thank you so much, because, I wouldn't want to like cross that boundary if she didn't want me to. But she was so gracious and generous and like, it's okay if you come on my grass, So I'm very, very excited for the outside. And it's like our debut outdoor event here at Visionistas. I'm so excited for it.
I'm jealous of everyone who's going to be there. Like you guys are so much fun. And it's starting off the day in a good space with the carnival.
Yes.
So
thank you. Thank you so much for this. This was wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, thank you too. All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you for connecting on this episode of the podcast, Empowered by Design. For further connection, subscribe to my email list at drliz.com to be sure that you are in the loop for exciting news, events, and resources. You can also follow me on social media at Dr. Liz and at Visionistas by Design. I invite you to subscribe to this podcast and send this episode to one of your people in order to share the love, spread the power. This podcast is designed to inspire, educate, and empower you to pursue your dreams with intentional vision. This podcast is not meant to be a substitute for psychological treatment or a working relationship with a licensed mental health professional. For more information on connecting with mental health resources in your area, visit drliz.com and click on resources. Thank you again for connecting, and remember, trust the heart, work your vision, dream, design, deliver.